of 51 yards by Jeff Jager. And the Denver Broncos are on offense for the first time in the ballgame. And as expected, they will start on the ground with Gaston Green. Ronnie Lott makes the tackle. And let's look at that offensive set of the Denver Broncos, being led by this young man, Tommy Maddox, who may be the youngest starting quarterback in the National Football League. We will document that story for you, as Gaston Green and Reggie Rivers as his running backs, Johnson and Jackson the wide receivers, Clarence Kay is the tight end. That offensive line of Freeman, Davidson, Karts, Wydell, and Ken Lanier. Spot the ball at the 34-yard line, and it is second down.
That's a sight you don't see very often. A benched John Elway, of course, as we mentioned, for injury reasons. Nonetheless, seems strange to see Denver on offense and number 7 standing around.
It is second down and 7.
Some confusion. Yeah, you could see that. 3 guys in motion, Charlie. You knew that something was goofed up.
And you know those things are going to happen. They take a timeout. The score, the Raiders 3, the Broncos nothing. And you're looking now at young Tommy Maddox, the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos. I'm Charlie Jones along with Todd Christensen, and a little bit of confusion, and that can be expected.
Well, that can be expected. You know, he's 21 years of age, the same age as your tie. And, of course, you know, those sorts of things are going to happen. But, you know, the Raiders throughout the week said that we are preparing for the best. This was Greg Townsend that said that. We're preparing for Elway. Anything else will be gravy. Interesting enough, Lyde Huggins, their pro personnel man, came up to me and he said, they're going to get gravy today.
Also, the Raider defenders were told, don't knock the young kid out of the ballgame. We want him in there. It is second down and 7. And Gaston Green gets the call, and you expect Denver with the young quarterback to go more to the running game. And this is the defense of the Los Angeles Raiders that will be facing that running attack of Howie Long, Willie Broughton, Nolan Harrison, Greg Townsend as the front four, with Wallace Ellison and Winston Moss the linebackers. In the base set, Terry McDaniel, Washington Lott, and Eddie Anderson in the secondary.
Well, remember last week, Gaston Green had arguably his best game of the season, 18 carries for 92 yards. And so if he can get it working like that again, that's going to bode well for the running game and the team of the Denver Broncos.
And here is Rivers to the right side. It was third down and 2. Denver will not pick up the first down. Howie Long was there for the Raiders. The Broncos will be kicking.
But watch Ronnie Lott. Watch Ronnie Lott to the right of your screen penetrate and make Rivers cut upfield. Watch 42. He's the one that pushes Sharp back. And as a result, Dave Waymer is the one who was in on that number 44. He pushes the play inside. Howie Long, Eddie Anderson, et al. Pick up the garbage. Good job by the Raiders picking up the predictability of that sweep.
Ruben Rodriguez will be kicking. Tim Brown is the return man for the Raiders.
Ruben Rodriguez there as a result of the season-ending knee injury to Mike Coran.
Good kick. 17-yard line. Brown on the return to the 25 to the 30-yard line. So he'll have 13 yards on the return following that 43-yard kick. The Raiders have the lead, 3.
Well, certainly there's going to be a lot of instruction. There are going to be a lot of the 3 quarterbacks getting together. I think people don't appreciate the fact that despite as well as Tommy Maddox did last week, that was one of those things on the fly. A little different when you have to prepare this entirely your game plan coming in.
Here's Dickerson to the outside. The 35 has the first down at the 40. And he is going to have 15 yards on the play to the 45-yard line.
This is exactly the same situation as the first play of the game. They came with the inside blitz, both safeties, and once Dickerson cuts to the outside, there's nobody left. Once again, key block by Steve Smith. Watch the hit right there. That enables him to get to the outside. Now, why he doesn't cut back here, I don't know. Evidently, he doesn't feel like getting hit today, because if he cuts back against the grain, that's another 10 yards at least that Dickerson would have been able to get.
First down Raiders. They lead in the ball game by a score of 3-0 with 5:40 left to go in the first quarter, as you have an opportunity to check all of the other scores in the National Football League on the 10-minute ticker. Dickerson again, a little hop step. And he is going to pick up 4 yards to the 49-yard line. It'll be second down and 6.
Trying to earn his keep, Don Mosbar, who we featured a little bit earlier with a big hit on Michael Brooks. In the interior here with Craig, and look at him pulling him off to the left. Has to stay with him. That's a good job there by Mosbar. Cragen usually is able to get out of that, as you mentioned, Charlie. One of the best at spinning out of that. And, of course, a little legal holding there, but that's one I guess they could call on almost any play. Former Pro Bowler after the '86 season, arguably one of the 3 or 4 best centers in the league. Reminds me a little bit. Do you remember Forrest Blue of San Francisco? 6'6", 6'7", very tall center. You don't see that too often.
Tim Brown is in motion. Checked down. Schrader to throw. All the time in the world. Great protection. He hits Brown. He's got the first down by a yard. Michael Brooks makes the tackle.
You called it, Charlie. Plenty of time to look off. He wanted to go deep to Willie Gault, but the safeties stayed in. Did a good job in the secondary. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Unbelievable all the time that he has. Able to find Timmy Brown there at the end. Timmy Brown, as I say, just trying to run off, just sitting down in the middle. He's actually not even the primary receiver. He's about the 3rd receiver, but he sees that, comes back out, and actually give Brooks credit for running him down.
When you're counting like that and the replay's in slow motion, you have to go 1,001. 1,000.
What, you think I didn't drive the punt home line?
First down, 44-yard line. Here comes a blitz again on first down. Again, it is picked up. Dickerson outside of the 30-yard line. Every time on first down, the Broncos have blitzed. The Raiders have picked it up. Dickerson has picked up either 14, 15, or 16 yards.
That's correct. Number 27, Steve Atwater, is the one who comes in. And what the problem is that once he comes in, there's nobody left in the secondary for support. Look at the hole. Look at all the grass. Nice job by Gault getting up to the legs of Smith. But it's not as if Eric Dickerson is making any brilliant decisions. It's just that there's too much grass in the secondary.
But he has picked up a lot of that grass. 6 carries, 59 yards rushing already for Dickerson with 3:22 left to go. We're in the first quarter.
And if this is the case, Charlie, of somebody with a hot hand, they might want to stay with Dickerson and maybe not go to their normal situation of putting in Nick Bell for 3 or 4 series.
Let me make a correction on that graphic that you just saw. The score is 3-0. Courtesy of the field goal by Jeff Jager of 51 yards. Raiders on top of Denver with 3 minutes to go, first quarter. A little glitch in the computer and the number came up wrong. So spot the ball just inside the 27-yard line. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 7-0. It was the first down graphic. I thought it was a scoring graphic. Thank you for catching that.
No, brother. Now I wish you were 21 again.
So do I. So do I. Willie Gault is in motion on the end around. Here is Gault, the speedster, close to the first down. The defender taking him high. Is that Dennis Smith? Yes.
This play took a little bit too long to develop. Take a look at how everybody's waiting. That's at least 4 steps before he gets the ball. And, of course, he does get the yardage. But, again, if it could have been a little bit quicker developing play. Nice hit there by Dennis Smith, preventing Gault from getting the touchdown. Watch Ethan Horton here. Look at the hook he puts on Mills. This is a good job here by the tight end. Then a little leg whip there at the end.
In case those wonder what a leg whip is, you just saw what it is.
So you don't have to debate it anymore.
No. Third down and 1.
One of the toughest things for the official to pick up.
Tough on the shins, too, isn't it? He Dickerson to the outside, and he gets around the corner, and there's a flag down. One of the Denver defenders suddenly was pulled down. I don't know if that was part of the call or not. But in pursuit, and as you saw him, he just disappeared.
You know what, Charlie, though, this is indicative of what Art Shell has told us from time to time, as we'll let you get the call.
Holding, number 35 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the fall. Still third down.
Second time that Steve Smith has been called for holding.
Steve Smith, lead blocker here. Watch again here what it is that the official sees. Does he see the arm going outside? What he sees right there is that right arm and tackling Dimry. Good job by the official to pick that up. That's twice now that Steve Smith has cost the Raiders with mental errors. And as we mentioned in talking to Art Shell, what are the problems with the Raiders is we're just this close. There's always something to come up and make a mistake. And the first drive was a holding penalty. And now once again, instead of first down at about the 18-yard line, they have 3rd and 10.
Schrader with lots of time, and Horton drops this one. It will be 4th down and 10. And the kicking team will come out.
No, he's not going to get the first down even if he does come up with the ball. Watch number 88. But if he does make this catch, pushing off on Lang there, completely legal. If he does make this catch, he gets tackled there at about the 24-yard line, which means a 40-yard field goal. Instead, 47-48. And the difference is, you know, Charlie, because they have those charts, 30 to 40 yards, 40 to 50 yards. 40 to 50 yards is less than a 50% proposition.
He hit from 51. This officially is 46 yards. A high snap, but a good hold.
Pretty short. Not going to get that one.
And he does not get that one from 46 yards away. So the score remains the Raiders 3, the Broncos nothing. Back in a moment. The Football League. If he would have stayed at UCLA, he would have been the starting quarterback in yesterday's USC-UCLA ballgame as a junior. And if Marinovich would have stayed at SC, there would have been a matchup. He would have been a senior. Youth must be served. Is that a black and, is that a black and silver USC cap?
As well as monetary concerns, I might add. Getting just a little bit more.
That you would bring that. Maddox's first pass of the game is complete. He goes to Vance Johnson. A gain of 14 yards and the first down of the ball game for the Denver Broncos.
Good job of play action passing here by number 8, Vance Johnson. Lionel Washington playing outside in, just what he didn't need to do in that situation, because he's running the hook route and he's already behind by 3 steps. Good throw by Maddox. Off to a good start. First throw completion.
Yesterday we talked with Keith Kartz, the starting center for the Denver Broncos. We asked him, what does Maddox bring to the ball club? He said, youth and inexperience.
Pretty good passing touch, though.
And this one is picked up. McDaniel with the interception. Down the sideline. And he is not going to score. He's going to be down about 1.5 yards away. 64 yards on the return.
I mentioned just as he threw the ball, the touch pass. Here's what happens when you haven't practiced enough. Take a look at Mark Jackson. He never looks. Mark Jackson never looks at the ball. He's still looking upfield when the ball is thrown. That's either Mark Jackson not getting in sync with Maddox, or Maddox throwing the ball too soon. As he cuts up the field there, good block by Ronnie Lott, enabling him almost to go the distance, but the young quarterback trips him up just there at the end, where he gets tackled on the 2-yard line.
And so the Raiders have the ball just outside the 1-yard line. First down and goal to go.
Schrader was very lucky in that situation that it wasn't picked off. Carl Mecklenburg did buy the play action, but he got back just in time. Watch 77 here to the left of your screen. He actually overruns Glover. Look at Schrader's throw right to him. If Mecklenburg could have turned just a little bit sooner, he would have picked that ball off. Second down, goal to go. Carl Mecklenburg, of course, you remember over the last couple of years, played a myriad of positions. Pass coverage is not his strong suit, but he did an excellent job there.
Quickly onto the spare microphone, and Steve Smith gets the call.
Keith Traylor, good job of penetration there to get him at the feet, and that took away the legs of Steve Smith.
And with that play, we come to the end of the first quarter.
Watch the penetration to the left of the screen. Keith Traylor just trips him up there. Otherwise, he might score.
When we come back, it will be goal to go. Third down. Back in a moment.
Athlete for the Denver Broncos at quarterback. Take a look at that diving stop by Tommy Maddox, preventing the touchdown by Terry McDaniel. Now the Raiders face a third down situation, and if for any reason they're forced to kick a field goal, that tackle could come back to be a very big play.
Third down and goal to go, now just inches away from the goal line. As we start the second quarter. With Steve Smith and Marcus Allen in the backfield. Play action fake. Touchdown. Andrew Glover with the score.
This is a clear case of feeling that they have a mismatch. Mike Kroll has Glover man for man, thinking he's going to the corner, cuts back to the inside. Schrader puts it right there. You have to go man for man in that situation. Schrader now has more touchdowns than interceptions, and he's certainly happy about that. Aren't you a little bit surprised after the number of years that you've done Raider games, the number of times you watch Marcus Allen jump over the line, that we didn't see that?
I was looking for him to go over the top. I really was.
Yeah.
And the extra point is good, and the Los Angeles Raiders, courtesy of the interception by Terry McDaniel that set it up, they go up 10-0. Derek Russell and Gaston Green are the return men. And from the 1-yard line, here is Derek Russell. And he is cut down at the 13. Anthony Bell is the man who brought him down. Let's go back to the touchdown, the 100th NFL touchdown pass for Jay Schrader.
Andrew Glover is going to take an outside release, and as soon as Mike Kroll sees outside, he's thinking corner. Now watch when he turns his hips, he's going to run to the corner. What happens is that when he cuts back to the inside, Kroll is just a little bit behind, and as a result of being behind, Schrader is able to slip the ball in there for the touchdown.
For the Denver Broncos, they're now in their third offensive possession. They have had the ball only 3.5 minutes to 11 minutes and 29 seconds for the Raiders.
Well, in fairness to the Denver offense here, that was a cardinal sin by Derek Russell catching the kickoff going backwards. He had no momentum.
And here is Gaston Green to the right side. He turns the corner, and he's going to pick up the first down. He has 11 yards on the play. Winston Moss makes the tackle. It'll be first down.
Gaston Green earlier in the season as a starting running back had the worst average per carry at around 2.8. Then he had a 67-yarder against Houston last week, as I mentioned, 92 yards on 18 carries, and here he bursts up showing the speed for 11 yards and a first down. Good lead block there by Wydell, pushing down Terry McDaniel, the man who just had the interception earlier. Denver Bronco offensive line doing an outstanding job over the last 3 games as compared to the first 6 or 7, and we'll update that particular graphic for you in a bit.
Maddox to throw on first down. Steps forward, and he's going to get to the 25-yard line, so he'll pick up a yard rushing on the play. And it will be second down and 9 as Townsend and Broughton were both there.
Greg Townsend was the one that had the quote in the paper with regards to whether or not we're going to prepare for the best and the rest is gravy. He's the one that muddled in and tackled Gravy for that time. Only 3 sacks coming into the season. He has been the Raiders' leading sacker over the last 5 years, but because of a contract holdout and a little bit of a weight problem, he has not been playing up to the standard that Greg Townsend has established as a Pro Bowl over the last 2 years.
Second down and 9. Maddox to throw, and the pass is complete at the 30-yard line. That's Arthur Marshall, and he spins for another yard. Winston Moss is there to make the stop.
Broncos sideline screaming for a late hit. We mentioned Greg Townsend. Watch him come upfield against rookie free agent Russell Freeman. That's what everybody's been picking on. The youngster, number 68, gets the good arm rip, gets up, actually gets tackled there. You can see Freeman had a hold of him, but he got away with that one. Good throw by Maddox under pressure.
And it'll be third down and 2. Tommy Maddox said the toughest thing getting ready this week, he said, as a backup quarterback, I didn't have to have the game plan until Sunday, as long as I was ready on Sunday. He said I had to have it on Wednesday because I was taking so many reps.
I mentioned the fact that part of the problem is you got too much time to think about it as a youngster. You know, last week he just let his instincts take over.
And it is incomplete at the 39-yard line. Michael Young, the intended receiver. Dan Land was there for the Raiders.
You saw Michael Young looking around for a flag, thinking that Land might have hit him just a little bit soon. Here's the slant route, cuts to the outside. Good job. A 360 spin there by Land came at the exact same time as the ball. Young looks around for the flag, but not to be found. Good defensive play there by the man from Albany State.
So it is fourth down, and Ruben Rodriguez will be kicking. Tim Brown is the return man. 12:28 time remaining, first half. Pretty good kick.
That's the room.
And takes the fair catch at the 27-yard line. So the Raiders have the lead. They have the football. When we come back, the score is 10-0. Thanksgiving Day for the Houston Oilers and the Detroit Lions, but be sure to be with us at noon Eastern time for the pregame show, NFL Live. The courageous story of Mike Utley. As you know, last season, a freak play paralyzed the Lions offensive lineman. And for many months now, Gail Gardner has been following his saga, and an NFL exclusive. An uplifting attitude has kept his spirits high, and a poignant Thanksgiving message for all of us. So don't miss his remarkably courageous story and his emotional return to Detroit on Thanksgiving Day, starting at noon Thursday here on NBC.
Charlie, I tell you what, one man that definitely misses Mike Utley is Barry Sanders.
Oh, yeah. Eric Dickerson breaks another one. He is running as if his legs were 10 years younger.
What?
28 yards.
Charlie, I watched a Monday night game a couple of months ago against the Kansas City Chiefs where he broke one for 40 yards. He's just getting outstanding job by the interior of the line, and the run support is poor here. Look at the juke he puts on Braxton, just leaves him there. There's Smith and Atwater downfield. But again, the contain. A little funk still on those sweet feet from Sealy, Texas. Look out. I left you. Once again, though, he doesn't cut back against the grain. Prefers not to get beat up.
But already he has beat up the Broncos for 91 yards rushing in the ballgame. Play action fake. Schrader goes. Tim Brown double coverage. Knocked away. It'll be 2nd and 10 back of the 45-yard line. And Dennis Smith, it was here. I thought I had it.
Takes the move, and Braxton right with him. Gets some help in the middle of the field with Dennis Smith, but that's Braxton's move all the way. Almost gets the interception there. Excellent coverage by number 34.
And Dennis Smith, number 49, an interesting quote when we talked to him yesterday. He said, the Raiders are the same, and they have been the same as long as Al Davis has been the coach. And that was his quote. It is 2nd down and 10.
Well, Dennis Smith's off-season home is here in Hollywood, California. Maybe he knows something that nobody else does.
2nd down and 10. And here is Dickerson. He's going to lose a yard, maybe 2 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 12. Simon Fletcher was there.
Simon Fletcher, arguably the least known of the linebackers of the Denver Broncos, leading the team in sacks over the last 2 years. Last year with 13.5. Many on the defensive staff felt that he should have gone to the Pro Bowl, but did not.
3rd down and 12. We're moving on the 11-minute mark. Time remaining in the first half. Raiders on top of the Broncos by a score of 10-0. Denver has had the ball 3 opportunities. They have picked up 2 first downs. They have suffered 1 interception. They have not gotten anything going offensively. Schrader to throw on 3rd and 12. Great protection, and he goes deep. Has a man there and knocked away. Great last-minute save by Dennis Smith, who had to close on the speedster Alexander Wright.
And you can see that the slap there by Braxton, it's almost as if thank you, because Alexander Wright was wide open. Schrader's a little bit upset. Cut into the inside. Dimmery thinks he has help there. He's waiting for somebody to go to the outside. Hook and go move. Atwater just bit it. But the ball's in the air too long, so Steve Atwater is one that comes over to Dennis Smith and says, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ball's in the air just too long. The athleticism of a man who high jumped 7'1" at USC. Great play by Dennis Smith, who at age 33, like fine wine.
Yeah.
Denver.
And Denver takes a timeout with 10:43 left to go. We'll be back.
Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for. By Volvo. Volvo would like you to drive safely. By McDonald's. What you want is what you get. Guaranteed at McDonald's today. And by Coors Light. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
As we look down on the Coliseum from the MetLife blimp, piloting the MetLife blimp for today's game, of course, captains Mike Fitzpatrick, Mike Hance, and Snoopy. 4th down and 12. We are supposing the Broncos took the timeout because they had either not enough men on the field of play for the return, or they had too many on the field of play. And here is the kick. Driving towards the sideline, and it is going
What a kick.
2-yard line.
What a kick by Jeff Gossett. Heading into today, in the first 10 games of the season, he had only had 2 touchbacks. 2 touchbacks. And of course, last year he was the all-pro punter. Take a look at this job of angling. Watch the ball off of number 7's foot. Wow, what a kick. Great job by number 7. Former roommate of yours truly, by the way, in training camp, which is, I can't say that I taught him that, but I'm sure some of it rubbed off. Yeah, okay.
Somewhere along the line, credit will be restored.
That completely alone. Yeah. Well, he's come a long ways from being the punter of the Portland Storm, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. 45 yards in the kick. First down, Denver. From their own 2-yard line, they trail in the ball game by a score of 10-0. Here's Gaston Green. He's going to get a couple of yards to the 4. It'll be second down and 8. Nolan Harrison with the tackle. When we talked with Tommy Maddox yesterday, he stayed loose. He was going to the UCLA ball game. Was there for not only for the ball game last night, which started at 4, but he hung around for an hour and a half after the ball game. He didn't leave the Rose Bowl about 9:30 last night. And everybody that he talked to, that the conversation got back to us, he really thought that Elway was going to start today. So that's what he was saying last night, or maybe that was a way of taking pressure off of himself. And we have flags flying, and the ball was dropped on the snap, but the play had been blown dead.
Well, when Willie Broughton walks away from the line, he knows it's against him.
Encroachment, number 97 on the defense, 5-yard penalty. Prior to the snap, it's still second down.
It's very funny. Usually you'll see defensive linemen, when that comes up, they'll start pointing, saying that they were drawn off. But you saw Willie Broughton. He hits the center now. He just completely walks away and says, yeah, it was me.
I got him.
Take a look at number 97.
Oops.
Pops him here. Now watch him just walk away and go, yeah, that was me.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, here we are. And it is second down and 3. And here is Gaston Green, and he is going to pick up the first down as he goes to the 15-yard line. So he picks up 6 yards on the play. And the first down, which is the 3rd first down in the ball game for the Denver Broncos. Winston Moss makes the tackle. And we have just under 9.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Number 68, Russell Freeman, maligned earlier in the season, but now seems to be getting into his own. Watch him come down here on the slant block, pushing people inside. Actually gets 2 there. Winston Moss comes off to make the tackle, but he got a piece of 2 guys, enabling Gaston Green to get 6 yards in the first down.
Moving on the 9-minute mark, time remaining in the first half. Maddox back to throw. And this pass is complete as he goes to Reggie Johnson. And they'll mark it at the 22-yard line. A gain of 7 yards on the play. It's going to be second down and 3. Ronnie Lott with the tackle. So although sputtering a bit, the Broncos offense now is beginning to move just a little bit at their own end of the field.
Now here's a man that doesn't get the ball very often. His momentum's taking him out of bounds. I might as well step out of bounds. Oh, forget it. I got the ball, Jack. So I'm going to do whatever I can with it. Former second-round pick of the Broncos from Florida State a couple of years ago. He is the heir apparent to Clarence Kay's job.
And here is Gaston Green with a pair of blockers in front, and he's got the corner, cuts back at the 40 and out to the 48-yard line. 26 yards on the run by Gaston Green, who's been averaging 4.1 yards a carry.
Well, the Raiders were guilty there of what the Broncos were earlier in the game, and that is where's the run support? They take a bad guess. They cut inside. Aaron Wallace and both Ricky Ellison are caught inside. Now Ronnie Lott bought inside. You can see him turn his head. There's nobody outside. Poor tackling on the part of the Raiders, and give Gaston Green credit. Good job cutting up field. Mark Jackson, watch him get a piece of Terry McDaniel. McDaniel's the corner. He's supposed to be the run support, and there's nobody out there. Good job by the offensive line of the Denver Broncos.
And the first down, Denver at their own 48-yard line. Maddox to throw. And the pass is complete as he goes to Mark Jackson. And Jackson will go near the 41-yard line. It is near the first down marker. Let's see where they make the spot. It will be a first down just outside the 40-yard line of the Raiders.
First and 10.
So on this drive, Denver now with a total of 3 first downs. John Elway on the sideline with that bruised right bicep. Carl Mecklenburg said, I didn't even know John had a bicep when we were talking to him yesterday. It's the draw. Gaston Green, and then Maddox followed it with the fake. And Green the ball carrier, and Broughton with the tackle.
Greg Townsend had a chance for a big tackle for loss, but give Gaston Green credit, able to shake him off. Here comes 93 inside. Shannon Sharp or Reggie Rivers decides to let him go. Greg Townsend can't quite hang on, and of course the play is busted now, and Gaston Green does what he can just to salvage something.
He gets 2. It'll be second down and 8. Raiders on top by a score of 10-0. Gaston Green with 55 yards rushing.
8 yards a carry. That certainly beats your average.
Rivers the remaining back. Jackson is in motion. And the pass is complete to Reggie Rivers. It'll be shy of the first down. It's going to be third down and a couple of yards to go. Lionel Washington with the tackle.
Now they're going to bring that, or they're going to bring that back for holding. Doug Waddell absolutely tackles Howie Long in the middle of the line. And sometimes that's the only way you can get him. Howie Long, as we've mentioned before, is somebody who is
Holding, number 67 on the offense. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Take a look at the right of your screen, number 67 over Howie Long. Right to the right. Here comes Howie Long with the rip move. Look at 67 just holding on to it right there and saying, no, you're not going anywhere. You can see by Howie's reaction. Where's the flag? It came, Howie. Don't worry.
Howie's really having a good year.
Yeah, he has 6.5 sacks, alternating at defensive end and defensive tackle for the Raiders. Very determined in the offseason. Had a much better offseason program and in much better shape. And at age 32 is playing some good football.
Denver's first penalty of the ball game. Here's Marshall on what was going to be a reverse end around Arthur Marshall, and guess who was waiting? Howie Long.
See, every now and then we're smart. Isn't that great? Every now and then we've got the right name. Howie Long supposed to buy the fake, but that's the cut down block by Lanier, who doesn't get enough of him. Howie Long with the strong thighs does not come down when Lanier comes down to cut him, and as a result, has the big tackle for loss. Had a chance to talk with him last week, going over to view the taping of Up Close with the famous Charlie Jones. And Howie Long says the good thing about this now is his health. He says his health is the best thing. His back's not bothering him too much. And over the last couple of years, that has been a concern of his.
Roy Firestone sent a car for me, and he sent a block-long limousine for Howard. Here's Maddox. He rolls out, he throws, it is high, it is incomplete. Vance Johnson went up for it, couldn't pull it down. Terry McDaniel was there. It'll be 4th down and 25, and Denver will be kicking.
And that's great coverage on the part of Terry McDaniel. What they do here is called the turmoil, which is they bring these people out. This enables the receiver to get a longer reach on his comeback route, thinking that the defensive back is going to be up the field on the up. Instead, Terry McDaniel didn't buy it. Excellent coverage.
So Ruben Rodriguez will be kicking. Tim Brown is the return man.
Over here, Jimmy!
Tim Brown fair catch, and he takes it at the 19-yard line. 4 minutes and 46 seconds time remaining. We're in the first half. The Raiders have the ball. They have the lead 10-0.
All right, a great man once said, winning, gentlemen, isn't everything. It's the only thing.
Look, a grasshopper!
I formation, 34 sweep on 2. Got it? Just give the ball to Matt. Tell him to run for his day. Got it?
It starts every September with teams like the Turkey Creek Hawks, the Bronx Eagles, and the Newport Richie Giants. On fields where dads aren't only coaches, and oak trees mark the end zones. And a good day isn't determined by if you win or lose, but where you go after the game. So McDonald's would like to salute the players, the coaches, the families, everyone who helped make this season a perfect season.
Can we go to McDonald's now, Coach?
After the game, Lenny. This is only halftime. Now go sit down.
You're married. 2 kids. 1 on the way. A house. A dog. 5 on the way. Loads of other responsibilities too numerous to count. And you want this. Doesn't make sense. But here is an interesting alternative that does. The new Volvo 850 GLT.
Next Saturday, the legendary Eddie Robinson leads his Grambling State Tigers against the Jaguars of Southern University. The Bayou Classic, next Saturday on NBC.
A shadow of his former self. Many people feel that he is not, but he still has the ability. That there by his lonesome, Marcus Allen sitting on the end of the bench. In today's Los Angeles Times, Jim Murray titled his column "Something Definitely Amiss," and he went on to have somewhat of a tongue-in-cheek approach to the idea that Allen is missing in action. This is Marcus Allen, though, not funny at all. It's a joke. What they're doing to me is a joke. I'm on this team, but I'm not on it. What's important to me is my teammates. They know what's happening.
Here's Eric Dickerson from the 19-yard line. The Raiders leading in the ballgame 10-0. They pick up 2 to the 21-yard line. Kenny Walker with the tackle. 2nd and 8.
Marcus Allen, a lonely man. I mentioned Charlie going out to the practice field and watching him run scout team for the offense was one of the most unbelievable things I'd ever seen. Hard to believe that that man is third string. As we talked about, nobody knows what's going on behind the closed doors, but to the lay viewer, they have to question what's going on with number 32, arguably the greatest player ever to wear the silver and black.
2nd down and 8. Raiders ball. Moving on the 4-minute mark. Time remaining. First down. Raider to throw. Wow. He has the first down. He drills Tim Brown.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That was a laser beam.
There's a little bruise in his stomach. 14 yards. First down.
If any of my clothes are not dry yet, I can put them on this clothesline that Jay Schrader. Watch this throw. What a gun. Yow. Right in. That's actually pretty good coverage by Tyrone Braxton, but Brown comes back to the ball. Watch number 34. He's going to have him on the hook route, plants the feet. Watch 34. He comes right back to it. Tyrone Braxton is there, but the ball's thrown so well, there's nothing he can do about it.
Jay Schrader, of course, wearing the number 10. You will recall he wore 13. His favorite number was 7 when he went to Washington. That wasn't available, and he wanted 10. And then when a kicker had it, was Chris Barr had it when he came to the Raiders. And so then he went to 13 and now back to 10, and now he gives to 29, and Eric Dickerson goes to the 41-yard line. 6 yards, 2nd and 4.
Well, I think the reason he didn't have number 10 before was, Chris Barr had it. Right. And, of course, Chris Barr's, 5'9", 160, and Jay is about 6'4", 220, so there's just no way he's going to be able to fit that on.
Chris offered to sell it to him.
Oh,
Jay said, no way, no way. You're kidding.
That's the attorney in Chris Barr.
Yes,
Chris Barr, now practicing attorney, past the bar here in California. He knows a little about negotiating.
2nd down and 4. Just over 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Raiders leading by a score of 10-0. Schrader to throw. And he has the first down as he goes to Dickerson. 48-yard line of Los Angeles, gain of 7 and a first down.
Dickerson never been much of a pass catcher, but of course, once again, Jay Schrader seems to be having it work, and certainly the velocity of his ball. Schrader throws his ball so hard between the 2 and a 9 that it's going to stick even if his hands don't come up. Zow. Look at that. Oh, okay. Jeff Mills in on the stop along with Mecklenburg as we get to the 2-minute warning.
No, interesting. 2:06 to go, and the Raiders take a timeout. They want to sneak in one extra play before the 2-minute warning, and we'll step aside for a moment. We'll be right back.
America's first choice. Napa Auto Parts.
At Napa, you'll always find top quality parts at a fair price. Plus, great holiday gift ideas for under $20. Like Napa's toy truck with real truck sound, just $19.95. Napa's 3-amp battery charger, only $4.95 after rebate. Or your choice of Chilton's 93 repair manuals, just $13.95 each. Save on great gifts for under $20. At Napa, America's first choice.
Cool, crisp, clean. Old Spice. It puts the wind in your sails.
I always rehearse my presentation in front of the bedroom mirror.
Who would know better how to make business travelers feel at home than Holiday Inn? That's why more of them stay with us. Holiday Inn. Stay with someone you know who really knows you.
Panasonic presents a unique and highly evolved Smooth Operator. The new Smooth Operator 2 with float control is the only razor to unite the comfort of twin independent floating heads with the closeness of a warm, wet shave. Don't try this with any plugged-in razor. The new Smooth Operator wet-dry razors from Panasonic. Smoother than you ever thought you would be.
The Oilers in the playoff hunt. The Lions, a football feast, NBC style. Thursday.
Be sure to stay with us at halftime for the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Bob Costas with the scores and highlights around the National Football League today. First down Raiders, the ball at their own 48-yard line with 2:06 left to go in the first half. And Dickerson comes in motion. And Schrader's back to throw. And it is incomplete to Eric Dickerson. And we now have 2:01 left to go in the first half. So the Raiders will get in one more play before the 2-minute warning. Dennis Smith had the coverage.
You mean that was what they called timeout to come over and talk about that play? Dickerson going in motion, trying to catch a 5-yard hook? I don't get it. Color me foolish. I know the idea, of course, here is to get him out in the open field one-on-one with the tackler, but the ball's thrown behind. Dennis Smith is all over, and even if he catches the ball, that's only a 5-yard gain, and it's a 2-minute warning. Strange what's going on down there.
Yes. Second down and 10. Orton's in motion. And here is Dickerson. And he is going to lean to the 50-yard line. He's going to pick up a couple of yards on the play. When we come back, it'll be 3rd down and 8. 2-minute warning to both bitches. Back in a moment.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. On the first Sunday in October, the Broncos, led by comeback king John Elway, struck for 2 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes to defeat the Chiefs. The first was scored by Mark Jackson, while the second went to Vance Johnson with only 38 seconds left. The 1-point win showcased Elway and his touchdown twin receivers at the very best they can be.
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's...
About this in terms of Eric Dickerson, maybe he should have been cognizant of his place in history, because Amy Nick Bader, our graphics person, was good enough to look up the fact that if that man had stayed with the Los Angeles Rams and had his average of 111 yards per game, which he had through his career, he would have been past Walter Payton's 16,726 in the 8th game of the 1991 season.
That is awesome. Schrader scrambling, drops it off to Marcus Allen, and he will pick up the first down. Marcus to the 39-yard line. It was 3rd down and 8. Marcus picked it up, went for 11, first down.
Do you have a problem with unabashed enthusiasm over people? The man was a teammate of mine. I like him. What can I tell you? Watch 32 catch the ball and cut up the field. Tell me you still can't do this. Gets a little bump on Fletcher. Just a little loop route, nothing special, but that's all he can go to. Nice little move there on Michael Brooks, gets past him, and also at 32, he knows self-preservation. Yeah. Ducks under the tackle, gets the first down for the Raiders.
And the clock is stopped with 1 minute and 44 seconds. That is the time remaining in the first half. The Raiders with the ball and the lead by a score of 10-0. And since it is first down, Marcus Allen, the 3rd down back in the offensive scheme for Los Angeles, goes back to the end of the bench.
But I would think, Charlie, given the time, 1:44, they're going to have to be in somewhat of a 2-minute mode here. They just can't afford to run the ball. That maybe Marcus should get a little bit more playing time.
The Raiders and the Broncos each with 1 timeout remaining in the first half.
I don't have it in front of me, but I believe that was Marcus's 438th career catch, which I think is second behind all-time. I believe Roger Craig over 500 is the only running back that's caught more passes.
Schrader with a lot of time. Pass is complete at the 34-yard line. It is Dickerson with Kroll making the tackle and the hurry-up offense. Gain of 5 yards on the play.
Now, if they're going to throw to the running back, why did Marcus Allen come out? That's the 3rd straight time they try to get the ball to Dickerson, who is never going to make anybody forget Tony Galbraith as a pass catcher out of the backfield.
And it is incomplete. Steve Smith, the intended receiver, the carry him off of his shoulder pass. Kroll was there. Golf is wide to the far side. Right is wide right. And here is Marcus. And he is going to stretch out and pick up the first down.
Look at that.
29-yard line.
Heads up, 32. Not much blocking, able to weave his way in.
And Schrader will spike it to stop the clock. with 53 seconds left to go first half.
It's about 6 yards. Number 32.
Raider sets, comes back, throws into coverage to Tim Brown. Brown wanted a flag, did not get it. Charles Dimry was there. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Schrader wanted the flag too. What's going on? Schrader over the middle, wide open is Ethan Horton. First down, 12-yard line. And the Raiders will stop the clock. They take their last time out of the first half. They pick up 18 yards on the play. Dennis Smith. Sideline. And it's a first down. Raider throws, touchdown, Tim Brown.
Tim Brown with a deep slant route on Charles Dimry. Charles Dimry just backs up too much here. He's too far off the ball in man coverage. Tim Brown cuts across. There's no help in the middle of the field. I think Dimry was anticipating a little bit of safety help, and certainly Jay Schrader's got to be pleased with that throw. Jay Schrader having an excellent day.
An 81-yard touchdown drive. Here is the extra point. And it is good. And the Raiders move on top of Denver by a score of 17-0 with 33 seconds left to go in the first half. Back and ended that thrust. Interestingly enough, though, the Raiders have had the ball in the first half only 5 minutes more than the Denver Broncos. Gaston Green and Derek Russell are the return men. And here is Green to the 15-yard line, now to the 20. That's to the right, looks for a block. He'll be near the 25-yard line. And so Denver with a couple of opportunities just before the end of the half.
Part of the problem here, the Denver
5-yard line, trailing in the ball game 17-0. And on the draw here is Gaston Green. And he's going to pick up about 4 yards.
As the clock runs down here, Charlie, I wonder if you have a theory on that as to why they play so well at home and struggle on the road.
They say mostly they feel it is when I talked to Dan Reeves, he said we're a young ball club. Almost half of our team 2 years and less experience. They just simply have to get used to playing on the road in adverse circumstances when the crowd is against you. It's halftime. The Raiders lead it by a score of 17-0. We'll be right back with NFL Live after a message from the NFL and words from your local station.
Nothing, and that really has changed the outlook of this game.
And we start the second half with Jeff Jaeger kicking off. And here is Derek Russell on the return for the Denver Broncos. And now a look at the halftime statistics, the Keystone halftime statistics.
Really the number that stands out to me, and we've mentioned it throughout the first half, are the rushing yards for the Raiders. Of course, you can see triple and first downs, but Eric Dickerson nearly 100 yards in the first half. That has enabled Schrader to go some play action passes and to hit some big plays downfield that have created some problems for the secondary of the Broncos.
So Denver will start the second half with Tommy Maddox at quarterback. A first down at their own 22-yard line. Trailing in the ball game by a score of 17-0. Maddox dumps this one off over center to Reggie Rivers. And Rivers goes to the 35-yard line. He picks up 13 yards on the play and the first down. In the first half, the Broncos had the one sustained drive. And then they self-destructed. They had the holding penalty that it was brought back, and then also Howie Long with a great defensive play on the side.
Everybody just left Reggie Rivers alone. Just a dump pass over the middle. Nobody inside. Ronnie Lott comes up along with Lionel Washington to make the tackle, but not after he gets the first down. Reggie Rivers trying to take the place of Steve Sewell in that pass-catching mode out of the backfield. Sewell certainly one of the best in the NFL. It's somebody that's been missed by the Broncos this season.
And here is Gaston Green just shy of the first down. He'll pick up 9 yards on the play. It'll be second down and short as Winston Moss makes the tackle.
Gaston Green has been playing very well, as has the interior offensive line of the Broncos. Right in the middle, Willie Broughton gets brought down, and as a result, there are nobody on the inside, and the safeties have to make the tackle. Take a look inside here. There's Broughton getting pushed out. Look at the push there by the Broncos. Also helps to be 5'10", 190, able to slide through small holes.
And here is Green. He is wrapped up by Willie Broughton. He is going to lose about 1.5 yards on the play. It was 2nd down and 1. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
Broughton trying to make up for the fact that he got pushed out last time. He's able to make the penetration, little cross buck action there, gets past Karts and able to make the tackle for the loss. Number 97, one of the reasons why Bob Golick is inactive today, because of the great play he has had on the interior for the Raiders. Another Miami defensive lineman. Well, they produced a pretty fair amount of good ones, haven't they? We saw one last week.
Cortez Kennedy. 3rd down and 2. Jackson is in motion. And this is going to be close. Where they take the spot. Denver needed a couple.
Looked to me like he got over the line, but evidently the side judge did not think so. Where they have it marked right there is going to be just a little bit short, it appears.
And we'll make it official. The change will come onto the field.
Watch Ronnie Lott come up. This is a good job of the initial hit right here by Anthony Bell, but Ronnie Lott is the one that closes in on Rivers, and it looked like he might have got the ball past the line, but line people didn't think so.
So it will be 4th down and around a foot.
But they're going for it.
And they'll go for it.
I see Dan Reeves calling it. Charlie, I wonder
Dr.
here.
Cunningham, defensive coordinator. And he is the man who said, don't take Maddox out of the ballgame. We want to leave the kid in for a while.
I wonder if the 5 fingers that Dan Reeves held up meant that he's going to have that long count, trying to get the 5-yard penalty. What do you think?
A possibility.
Yep.
And he may have gotten it.
Sure enough. If you're paying attention and you saw the 5 fingers that Dan Reeves was holding up, obviously that wasn't for 5 receivers. That was because he wanted Maddox to take and use the count and do what he could to draw the Raiders offside. And if they didn't, then they moved back to the 40-yard line, put the football.
Encroachment, number 74 on the defense.
It's all
5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
He is claiming that he was drawn off, and he almost was.
Take a look. Watch the quarterback's head. Does he cheat here with the shoulders? Right there he does, just a little bit. Rocks a little bit and got away with it.
Oh, that's a veteran rock.
Well, any way you look at it, it ain't kosher.
But it is a 1st down.
5 yards, and it counts.
At the 50-yard line. Maddox right side, and it is caught. Oh, what a great move. Mark Jackson just stopped the defender, went on by him, had the ball.
More and more you see this in the playbooks of teams. This is actually a planned play to throw the ball behind. Terry McDaniel, an outstanding coverage right there, right with him. Then he turns his momentum, takes him upfield, and the ball sits right in the lap of Mark Jackson. The coverage can't be any better than that. He looked back. His momentum took him forward. Jackson with a big catch. He actually has been the go-to guy for the Denver Broncos over the last couple of games. 19 catches and 6 touchdowns over the last few.
30 yards on the play. 1st down at the 20-yard line. And here is Gaston Green trying to get around the corner. And he does. The flag is down.
Got a big-time hold on the part of Clarence Kay, who just absolutely tackles Greg Townsend in the middle of the field. And Townsend is down, not feeling too good. One of the toughest things for a tight end here, Clarence Kay, is trying to hook Greg Townsend. In this case, he hooked him all right. Unfortunately, he did it illegally.
There are 2 flags on the play, both holding against Denver. We will accept holding number 88 on the line of scrimmage, 10-yard penalty.
That's because that's the one he called.
Still first down. That one is declined.
We'll accept mine. I am the referee.
That's right. I'm the referee. I'm in charge. That's the one we're going to take.
So the ball will go back to the 30-yard line. It'll be first down and 20.
Number 88, Clarence K. right here. What he's trying to do here is he's trying to get outside and hook Greg Townsend, but Greg Townsend is supposed to come upfield and push things inside, and the battle is won by Townsend. But unfortunately here he wants to take the way out. Look at the absolute tackle and takedown there on the part of Clarence K, and that's what the official saw.
The ball back to the 30-yard line. It is first down and 20. The second sustained drive of the ball game for the Broncos, and the second time that a penalty has halted it. Let's see what they can do now. First and 20. Has pressure, and a fumble that is recovered by the Raiders. Aaron Wallace.
One of the problems Gunther Cunningham had talked about during the season is getting sacks and fumbles. They had 12 coming into this game, but hadn't been able to recover any of them. There, the rookie just doesn't, he just can't hold on to it. It slips out of his hand, and Aaron Wallace is able to come up with it.
And what Gunther Cunningham said to his defenders is, stop cheering when you see the ball loose. Look for the football. Fall on it. We have to have it. They have it. Back in a moment. And the Raiders have the ball at their own 38-yard line. That's the stretch move. Howie Long's famous stretch move. Got to stay loose. And here is Dickerson. And he is over the 100-yard mark. Rush, you hold it. May not be. There's a flag down in case they bring it back. Simon Fletcher with the tackle.
Interesting, we talked about running back by committee earlier, Charlie. Let him make the call.
It will go against the Raiders. They'll bring it back on the clip.
That's one you don't see too often, and evidently it's against Tim Brown, and he doesn't like the call. Let's see. He's trying to argue the official.
We have a personal foul, crack back block, number 81 on the offense, 15-yard penalty.
Look at Tim. He's at the 45-yard line. Tim, get back to the huddle.
And you can hear a lot of the screaming there. Yeah. Watch the right of your screen. Watch number 81 come in, and right there he slides under Steve Atwater. Take a look as he cuts inside here. Now, is this the crackback block catching him blind? I don't think so. No.
Isn't that the situation in the field, though, where he has to go at the jersey above the waist?
A lot of that has to do with how far downfield Atwater was there. He's shaking his head a little bit disappointed. But
the ball goes back to the 27-yard line. And it's first down and 20. Trader wants to set up a screen. And this will lose back to the 20-yard line. A loss of 7. Steve Smith dropped by Mike Crow.
One thing I've never understood about a screen pass like that, after about 2 seconds when you're aware that the thing is not going to work, why does the runner feel compelled to catch the ball? Steve Smith would have been better off just dropping that ball. Take a look at the point right about now. The ball should be thrown. Now he knows that it's not going to work. Steve Smith knows that Kroll's all over him. Should have let the ball go. I think that was a little more frustration on the part of Steve Smith than irritation over Kroll, because Kroll did an excellent job of staying right with him in man coverage on the screen pass.
And it'll be second down and 27. The ball just outside the 20-yard line. And here is Dickerson, slipping and sliding. Nice cutback. And he's going to salvage about 3 on the play before Cragen brings him down.
Before I got interrupted earlier, Charlie, by the personal foul call, interestingly enough, with regards to Dickerson, we're used to watching a lot of alternating in terms of running backs. Nick Bell usually gets his series by now, but in the entire first half it's been all Dickerson except for the third down situations. And now starting the third quarter, maybe Art Shell's decided we're going to go with the hot hand.
And as you see, Eric, over the century mark, 105 yards rushing in the ball game. Raiders pass is complete to Tim Brown. He is dropped to the 29-yard line. It will be 4th and long, and the kicking team will come in as Michael Brooks makes the tackle. This is the 63rd time that Eric Dickerson in his outstanding career has gone over 100 yards rushing in a ball game, but the first time that he has accomplished that feat is the Los Angeles Raiders.
Well, kind of tough to do that when you're only getting the 10-11 carries a game. Give Art Shell credit. The guy had a hot hand. He's staying with him.
Jeff Gossett will be kicking. Arthur Marshall, the rookie free agent from Georgia, is having an outstanding season. He's the return man. He's been a valuable addition to the Broncos. Not that good a kick. He takes it at the 30-yard line. He's to the 35. And has about 12 yards on the return to the 42-yard line. 7.5 minutes left to go. We're in the third. We'll be back in a moment. Campbell.
Coming back, it's your quarterback.
Denver first down, their own 42-yard line. Here's Gaston Green. Ooh, nice move at the 45, and he's going to pick up the first down. When you talk to Dan Reeves about Gaston Green, he says, you know, he will not move the pile, but you give him some room to run, and he can dance in the backfield.
Little misdirection here. Howie Long comes out, gets a little bit of a tug there, but you're right. Sweet feet here in the middle of the field, and Gaston Green takes on a couple of hits. Watch number 75. Howie Long cuts up the field. Now watch, he's got a little bit of a beef here. Now the play comes to the outside. Waddell right there. He complained a little bit about it to the official, but that was fine. Green once again showing the good feet cutting inside.
And the change route to make it official. It is a first down at the 48-yard line. Gaston Green, 11 carries, 77 yards rushing. So he and Eric Dickerson both having outstanding rushing days today.
And give credit to the offensive line of the Denver Broncos, who over the last 3 and 4 games has really started to gel.
First and 10 from the 48.
Play action fake. And the pass is complete to Rivers. Rivers inside the 30-yard line to the 26-yard line. Is that Aaron Wallace that he had him bite on the fake?
Well, what that is that's a misdirection. That's the counter boot is what it is. Watch the lineman move to the left. Tommy Maddox give the big hand, give everybody the illusion that's going that direction. Aaron Wallace comes inside, lets the man go, and there's nobody in the flat. Reggie Rivers cuts upfield, a lot of grass. Black shirts coming in, but a little bit too late. First down now at the 27.
And a gain of 21 yards on the play, and back-to-back first downs for the Denver Broncos. 27-yard line of the Raiders. Raiders lead in the ball game by a score of 17-0. Gaston Green. They're going to mark it around the 23-yard line. It'll be second down and 6. Ricky Ellison with the tackle. Ricky Ellison said, we're on a one-game schedule. We being the Raiders, that if we're going to make the playoffs, one game. We did it last week. We've got to do it every week.
Well, that may be, but right now, judging by the body English of the Raiders, now with the 17-0 lead, they're playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. You can see here by the poor tackling, Gaston Green now over 80 yards rushing. They're just not doing the job with their run defense here in this series.
Second down, here is Green. No, the play action fake. He drops it again. He throws, and the pass is going to good fake. Tommy's having a little problem holding on to the ball.
One of the things they complain about, you remember Dave Craig had similar problems. Maybe he doesn't have the big hands. I wonder if that has something to do with it. Good play action fake here to Gaston Green. Puts the ball on his hip. There it slips up. Lucky for him, it stayed there at his ankle, able to get the ball to Reggie Rivers and get a minimal gain. But now he's set up for 3rd and 3, and good chance to get it.
That could be a parachute, though, isn't it?
Oh,
I mean, just to drop the ball.
No doubt.
John Elway looking on from the sideline. Pass is complete. First down, 12-yard line. Vance Johnson pulls it in.
That might be the best throw that Tommy Maddox has had all day. Vance Johnson with the slant route underneath, man-for-man coverage on Terry McDaniel. Little move to the outside. That's just enough to get it. Just far enough inside. Maddox puts it right on the shoulders. Good throw. Good reaction there by Vance Johnson, who is not having one of his more stellar seasons. Of course, the favorite target of John Elway's over the last couple of years. 30 touchdowns he has had from Elway over the last 8. But this year, because of injuries and rotating a lot of people in and out, he doesn't have the same numbers.
Maddox is hit 9 of 12. Reggie Rivers, the ball carrier. It'll be second down as Winston Moss makes the tackle at the 8-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll be second down and 6. Tommy Maddox, I said he looks like he's 16. I said, Dan Reeves, when I mentioned that name, he said, I've been with him longer. He's 15.
Man. He does look young.
He does. The numbers on Tommy Maddox, 9 of 12, 115 yards, that 1 interception. Gaston Green, 6-yard line. He has a couple on the play. It's going to be third down and 4. Chester McLaughlin with the tackle. We're moving on the 3-minute mark. This is the time remaining in the third quarter. Raiders on top by a score of 17-0.
Play took a little bit too long to develop. Watch the left side of the offensive line for the Denver Broncos. That's McLaughlin, the first-round pick this year. Number 91 actually pushes Freeman into Green, making the tackle. They say he's 6'4", 325 pounds, and supposedly was timed in 4.9 in the 40.
From the shotgun. Over the middle, incomplete.
I wonder what Tommy Maddox was upset about there. That actually, I think this is a very catchable ball. Vance Johnson on the slant to the inside. Watch to the right of your screen. He's going to come in. Maybe he could take a little bit off the ball here, but, oh, you got to catch that ball. Now, what's he screaming at the umpire for?
I think he's talking about the umpire. He was in the field of play.
Well, that could have been.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Still, very catchable ball. We'll get a chance to see it a little bit later after this field goal attempt by David Treadwell.
23-yard field goal attempt is blocked. And the Raiders will take over on downs.
Andrew Glover, tight end for the Raiders, earlier in the game was the one who came up with a touchdown. Get a chance to see here within 1 yard of the line of scrimmage. He can jump. Take a look at the vertical jump right there.
Raiders have the ball. We'll be back in a moment.
Yo, this is Jazzy Jeff. And how did I get my starter hat to look like this? The Jazzy Jeff breakdown. First you grab the hat. Then you grip the hat. Then you flip the hat. Make sure it's a starter hat. Then you raise the hat. Then you slam the hat. Then you twist the hat. Then you turn the hat. Then you spin the hat. Then you smooth the hat. But hey, don't forget, look for the star.
Raiders first down, their own 11-yard line. This is now our new NBC stringer from the sideline. And here's Dickerson. And he has a yard to the 12. It'll be second down and 9, 2:13 time remaining third quarter. Raiders on top 17-0. Michael Brooks with the tackle for the Denver Broncos. With a victory here today, the Raiders record would go to 5-6. The Broncos record would go to 7-4. Currently a 4-team race in the West with Denver, Kansas City, San Diego challenging with that fifth place schedule. Also, San Diego is winning today over Tampa Bay 22-7. And the Raiders, they feel that they have a shot, tough schedule, but they need to win them all. And the pass is incomplete far side to Steve Smith. Mike Cole with the coverage.
I want to talk about somebody who's a little impatient. There's Nick Bell waiting his turn, but of course if the other guy's got his 100+ yards, you know, first of all he has to wait for Bo, then he had to wait for Marcus, then he had to wait for Vance Mueller, now he has to wait for Eric Dickerson. I'm sure he's wondering to himself, when is it my turn?
And when we talked to him yesterday, you know, he weighs 253. I asked him his time in the 40. He said 4:48. He said, oh, he said I ran a 4:35. but it wasn't timed.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody said, what? I said, 1,001. He said, you know, it wasn't officially timed.
Yeah, right.
It was a friend with a stopwatch.
No kidding. A real good.
Oh, it broke up the meeting. 3rd down and 9. Schrader steps away from the pressure, holds on to the football. And he is sacked at the 10-yard line. Simon Fletcher got him.
That was actually a Blue Jay organization as a catcher. Strong hands hang out of the football.
So Jeff Gossett will be kicking. Arthur Marshall is the return man. And he signals for the fair catch and takes it at the Raider 42-yard line. So the Broncos have excellent field position. Only a 32-yard kick. Back in a moment. For 8 yards and a first down. He went on to become a broadcaster.
Who is this? Oh, my God.
One of my partners. He was one of my partners.
Look at this young face. Hey, youngster.
Yeah. Well, we both were young then.
Well, someone who's certainly playing like he's young is Howie Long, coming from the other side along with Andre Bruce. Take a look at number 75. Going to be coming from the right of the screen once again, bobbling the ball. Here comes Howie coming out the middle, double team. Look at the persistence of getting through those people. Great effort by number 75.
And the ball back at the 48-yard line. And so the defense of the Raiders, when it has to, certainly has asserted itself in the ball game. Reggie Rivers gets the call to the 45-yard line of Los Angeles. Anthony Bell with the tackle.
Well, I think the point that was made earlier regarding the fact that the Raider defense had said, look, we're going to prepare for Elway and then everything else will follow suit. Inevitably, when you go over backwards to prepare for some one thing that's just a little bit different, you can alter your own particular scheme. And as a result, the Raiders have not done that. And that man right there, Gunther Cunningham, defensive coordinator for the Raiders, there's a lot of credit for what they've been doing today, shutting out the Broncos, at least in these 3 quarters.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Raiders lead at 17-0. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Move this way. One of the better contracts.
Yeah, I'll say it.
3rd down is a good action, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And the pass is complete far side to Mark Jackson. 39-yard line. It'll be 4th down, still around 8 yards to go for the first down. Eddie Anderson was there for the Raiders.
Well, Mark Jackson took the wrong turn. That's a classic case of going east and west instead of north and south, and now down 17-0. Dan Reeves makes the right decision here to go for it. Jackson, if he'd have turned that field and just stuck his head down, they could have come up 4th and 2 and had a lot better situation. Instead, trying to make something out of nothing, he actually lost about 4 or 5 yards.
From the shotgun. And this is going to be a first down at the 30-yard line. Was it Vance Johnson? Yes, it was. Ronnie Lott and Terry McDaniel were there.
Poised throw by the young quarterback here on 4th down. Sets up, gets good protection. Looks left and comes back right. Man coverage there on Vance Johnson. Puts the ball right there. Not exactly making up for the ball he lost earlier, but still first down for the Broncos.
One thing that Dan Reeves says about the young quarterbacks is he has such a natural throwing motion that he gets excellent velocity on the ball. You don't realize it because he doesn't look like he's throwing it that hard.
Well, that and the fact that the ball, at least the balls that I've seen, they haven't wobbled either.
And here is Rivers, and he's going to lose 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Aaron Wallace there to bring Reggie Rivers down.
Charlie, not since the days of Rod Martin have the Raiders really had an established backer that has been dominating. And now Aaron Wallace, after years a pass rusher, had 9 sacks 2 seasons ago. They feel like he might be somebody who's going to step up and be a more complete linebacker. You see there taking on Reggie Rivers, making the tackle for loss. The Raiders have been looking for some people at the linebacker position because that has been a weakness of theirs over the last 3 years.
And it is 2nd down. And we have jumping on the offensive line. I believe that was Jeff Davidson. And he'll get caught for a false start.
I wonder if a lot of that has to do with a different case, Charlie.
Number 62 on the offense prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
A lot of times deep into the game, you get used to that same cadence from a familiar quarterback, and now you're going by rote. You're kind of waiting maybe for what you're used to in terms of Elway's cadence. Now with Maddox, it's a different story, and Davidson gets caught on his heels.
The Raiders lead in the ball game by a score of 17-0 with 12:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. It is incomplete. Mark Jackson wants the flag. He does not get it. Terry McDaniel had the coverage.
Always an iffy proposition when you go over the back. Does the defender have the right to the ball? And if he does, where does he get to go after it? Hook pattern by Mark Jackson. Let's watch number 36 and where he is. Jumps over the. Ooh, boy.
He did get there early.
That was awfully, especially there with the hand underneath the chin. Is he? The question, of course, is whether or not McDaniel is there before the ball. Once again, another tight spiral. Looked like he might have been just a millisecond before the ball. Jackson has a legitimate beef.
Third down and 18. It is coming to the 31-yard line. That is Arthur Marshall. It will not be enough for the first down. Torin Doran was there. And again, another fourth down opportunity for the Denver Broncos.
I think what Dan Reeves is thinking here, even though maybe you might want to give your kicker Treadwell an opportunity to get a little bit of confidence with a longer kick, or at least avoid the shutout. This is his opportunity to put this young man into some pressure situations and see how he can come through.
Complete at the 15-yard line. It was trapped. And Vance Johnson is hurt.
Holding onto his middle finger.
Maybe a broken finger.
That's right. Might have jammed it a little bit. You see the look on his face. He's in some pain. Standing tough in the pocket, Maddox throws the ball a little bit low. What happens there, I can tell you, is your hands drag along the ground and your body weight is what gets in the way. That's too much for that one finger to take.
Raiders take over on downs. Back in a moment.
Starting now, your photos have the power of television. Introducing the Kodak Photo CD.
You won't believe your heart. You won't believe your eyes.
Your pictures taken with your current film and camera, transferred onto a new kind of compact disc and shown on TV. The special photo CD player also plays audio CDs.
Your pictures have never been so powerful.
The new Kodak Photo CD system. You've got to see it.
This is gonna cost us. It already has.
Who approved all this?
We've got more paper here than...
Shouldn't this be included in that?
So let's get Joe in here.
Forget Joe. Let's get MCI in here.
For those of you who haven't noticed, our Big Mac Extra Value meal is getting even bigger. Yeah, real big. See, it's just $2.99 with fries and a Coke Classic, and we think that's a pretty big deal. Oh, got a little special sauce on your nose there.
Zestfully clean.
Everyone wants skin that's zestfully clean.
A girl's got to take care of her skin.
And no soap is better for your skin than Zest.
Zestfully clean. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. Feels smooth.
The Oilers in the playoff hunt. The Lions, a football feast, NBC style. Thursday.
The Raiders take over on downs. First down at their own 29-yard line. In the second half, the Raiders have not picked up a first down. The pass is incomplete to Brown. It'll be second down. Now let's go back in time to a moment ago when Tommy Maddox was coming up to go under the quarterback for the last play on fourth down, and along the sideline, Dan Reeves
evidently didn't like what he called. He's trying to get him to call timeout and change it. Let's do something else, but Maddox wasn't able to see him. And Maddox just a little bit disappointed here at the end. He thought he had that one in there and saw the ball squirt out. Nuts. Vance Johnson with a little bit of a smile on his face. Another new cloth. It looks like he cut off most of his hair now. Slick back. And with that patent riding it.
And here is Nick Bell's first carry of the ball game. He's going to pick up a couple of yards. He is, as I mentioned a moment ago, 253 pounds. When I said, doesn't it bother you? The fullback is smaller than you are? He said, the fullback has always been smaller than I am.
Well, I'll tell you what bothers him is his first carry of the game comes with 11:30 left in the game. I mean, he's missed 3/4 of this ball game, and now he comes out.
3rd down and 7. Marcus Allen, the 3rd down back, is in.
This reminds me a little bit, Charlie. I remember O.J. Simpson telling me one time that, you know, after all the yards that he had in his first couple of years, they didn't use him right. They didn't give him an opportunity to get in. He said that later, even though he had 10,000+ yards in his career, he felt that his best athletic years had been wasted.
Trader way underthrows Tim Brown. And it'll be 4th down. And so the Raiders still in the second half have not picked up a first down. They lead 17-0. That was the score at halftime.
Well, again, and Art Shell can't be too terribly happy about that. As you can see him nodding his head. He talks a lot about the killer instinct, the ability to put people away. And as we mentioned earlier in the 3rd quarter, it's clear that the Raiders here are playing not to lose instead of playing to win.
Art Shell with a 5-1 record against the Denver Broncos. Jeff Gossett to kick. Arthur Marshall is the return man. Takes it at the 21-yard line. He's to the 25. And down around the 28-yard line. 51 yards on the kick and 8-yard return. We'll be back in just a moment. Raiders on top, 17-0.
Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for.
Here's how the mind reacts to 2 pizzas for $5.99. Shock, disbelief, denial, and finally, acceptance. Now at Little Caesars, 2 pizzas for $5.99.
Doozy doozy. If your face was square, shaving would be simple, but your face has curves, presenting the revolutionary Schick Tracer, the only twin-blade razor that flexes to follow the curves of your face. Schick Tracer, we're changing the face of shaving.
Does this much business can only be headed in one direction. Forward.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Diet Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Diet Dr. Pepper, the taste you've been looking for. By Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. By Castrol Syntec, the new synthetic oil that protects in ways other oils can't. And by Schick Tracer, it traces every curve on your face.
While we are away, here is Art Shell.
Now he's not terribly happy. You can see how he's gesturing. And let me tell you one guy that you don't want to get mad. That's the man right there.
And he's a very positive outlet.
Well, he is, but again, I made the comment before that he's like E.F. Hutton when he talks.
McLaughlin, that is his first sack in NFL history for the rookie from Clemson.
Well, it's a little late to be paying off dividends for a first-round pick. He's been hurt by a sprained arch earlier in the season. He's going to come on the inside from the right of your screen. He beats Russell Freeman to the inside, and he's all his. 6'4", 325. Can't be too pleasant a sight if you're Tommy Maddox to see him coming.
2nd down and 17. Maddox 12 of 18, 139 yards throwing. He has 1 interception. Here's the screen to the left side. This is to Reggie Rivers. And Terry McDaniel makes the stop.
The man known as T-Mac to his teammates, playing an outstanding game today. It appears that every time they're throwing the ball, we're seeing Terry McDaniel in coverage. Not only the interception earlier, but the number of passes defense. He shows here on the screen pass to Reggie Rivers that, yes, as a cornerback, I can come up and run support. I can knock some people down. Reggie Rivers going the airborne way. McDaniel gets the job done.
And a gain of 3, 3rd down and 14. Over the middle, pass is complete, but way shy of the first down. Arthur Marshall pulls it in. He's pulled down by Terry McDaniel. It'll be 4th down, and Denver will be kicking. So we haven't had a lot of offensive excitement in the second half. The Raiders, as a matter of fact, have a total of 17 yards in total offense. They'll have another opportunity here. They lead by a score of 17-0.
And a lot of the numbers that Tommy Maddox have been putting up, of course, have been between the 20s, needless to say, because they get to score.
Ruben Rodriguez is kicking to Tim Brown. And it takes a Denver roll inside the 20. We'll be down around the 16-yard line. John Granby was down the ball. Back in a moment.
It takes a special kind of car to pass the test we give at Oldsmobile. Like Cutlass Sierra, recently ranked the best model in initial quality in its price class by J.D. Power & Associates. What's more, of all the Cutlass Sierras sold in the last 10 years, 95% are still on the road. So if you're looking for a quality car, you know exactly where to look. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
When your sinuses are closing in on you, what you need is a sinus spray like Sinex. Only Sinex adds Vicks Vapors to its decongestant, so at last you can feel your sinuses open up. For sinus, think Sinex.
If you want to go places in any career, ask yourself, can I perform under pressure? Can I be counted on to get the job done? You can learn how in the Army, so when you're ready to take off, you'll know you can go far.
One of these engines was filled with Castrol Syntec, a new synthetic oil. The rest with conventional oils. They were then drained and started without oil to prove a point. You see, Syntec's unique molecular structure bonds to engine parts. Lab tests show it leaves a layer of protection far stronger than conventional oil. And if Syntec protects this well now, imagine if you leave it in. Castrol Syntec protects in ways other oils can't.
He had an obsession about her. He had a greater obsession about her murder. But his greatest obsession was with the man
He killed his wife.
who thought he'd planned the perfect crime.
He pays the judges, he pays the cops.
You really think I killed her, don't you, Sergeant?
I'm busting this wide open. Brian Dennehy, Treat Williams, inspired by the true story, Deadly Matrimony, NBC tonight.
Many feel that it's a pipe dream for the Raiders to make the playoffs, and they might be right. The critics certainly take a look at the remaining 5 games on the schedule. But here's the crucial ones right here. Last 3 games, and look at the records. We get a chance to show you after the play why those 3 are particularly difficult.
Raiders first down their own 17-yard line. They lead in the ball game 17-0. And here is Nick Bell. Couple of yards. Let's go back to the map.
Taking a look at the schedule here, first they have to travel to Miami, and then of course at home against San Diego, and then Washington. Now for you, here's what they have to do within 12-day period of time. They start here in LA and go all the way to Miami. Then they have to come all the way back, and then Christmas time, right around the Christmas day, they have to go and come all the way to Washington, D.C., and then all the way back. In 12 days, they have to travel some 12,000 miles worth of air travel. I mean, that's gonna be a rough gig.
I just love the sound of it. Sound like the engine was sputtering a bit, but you handled it rather well.
Well, my son Taryn will like that one.
Nick Bell, the ball carrier. Kenny Walker making the tackle. First half, second half.
Well, again, up 17-0, they can afford the luxury of sitting on the lead. And again, you know, we've had this theme of body English throughout the season. Take a look at how they're running in and out of the huddle. It's like, well, let's take up some time. Let's get this thing over with.
The ball at the 20-yard line. And it is 3rd down and 7. And the time remaining in the ball game, in a very fast-moving ball game here in the Coliseum. Sun breaking through in the second half. Schrader has the first down. That's for the sideline. And he gets out at the 28-yard line. Wyman Henderson was chasing him, and he goes out with a couple of lucky numbers. 7:11 time remaining.
Remember, you were talking about Nick Bell's 40 time earlier. Jay told me that when he came out of college, out of UCLA, he was timed in 4.65. Now, he's had a couple of knee surgeries since that time, but maybe he was right. Maybe he wasn't just making that up. Looked pretty good there.
Yes. Is that when you have the speed when you need it, when somebody's chasing you?
Well, it's that fear factor.
Yes, that's right. That takes a few tenths of seconds.
It does. Shoot. Yeah, the adrenaline kicks in. There's a man who doesn't appear to have lost a step. 100 yards today, Eric Dickerson.
Raiders for the first down. And here is Nick Bell around the corner. Oh, he's a load, isn't he? 253 pounds, he told us that he weighed. And, you know, we thought he was taller than 6'2", but he is. He's 6'2". We kind of measured and looked at him.
Must have been those high-top shoes or those Cuban heels he was
wearing. He said I do have some lifts in my shoes for my arches.
I see.
Yes, that's what he said. I wasn't going to argue. It's fine by me. Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Take a look at the job by Steve Smith leading Nick Bell out here to the left. He actually gets a piece of 2 people. Don Mosbar with the job on Craig, and at the bottom of your screen, watch number 35. Bumps Kroll. Now watch, he comes out and bumps Drenette, enabling Bell to get up for that game. Good job of the lead block of Steve Smith.
2nd down and 2. And another thing, of course, that Jay Schrader, the veteran quarterback, is doing is the Broncos show blitz, and here they go. That he's using up every second of the clock. Bell again with the call, and he's going to pick up the first down at the 41-yard line. And some pushing and shoving.
There's a little concern as to where he's going to be next year. His contract runs out at the end of the season.
Raiders with the first down. Raiders stumbling just a little bit. Lays it out, and it is incomplete. He's going to Nick Bell. And it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Similar.
Schrader throws. This pass is complete to Tim Brown. Brown slips a tackle. He's to the 40, the 35, and then out of bounds.
Run out of bounds.
26 yards on the play. Steve Atwater got it.
It's one of the things I like that. If he said to himself, what would I be like in a run and shoot? They're going to throw me 50, 60, 70, 80 balls.
There's Nick Bell around the corner. Oh, he is still going.
Oh, my goodness.
The collision with Wyman Henderson, and Henderson came in 2nd and 3rd and 4th. Whoa. 20 yards. We're going to play this back at full speed and listen to the collision.
Those who follow look at the chin strap up by his nose. Those who follow Bronco and Raider football will remember Bo Jackson's first game as a lot, or not his first game, but his first touchdown as a Los Angeles Raider when he took a pitch left and cut upfield and ran over Mike Harden. That reminded me a little bit of that.
Yeah. And here is Bell again. It's a first down at the 13-yard line.
253 pounds worth. That was some collision.
2nd down and 10. Schrader scrambling, slides at the 10. At the end of play tonight, we could well have a tie between Denver and Kansas City atop the AFC West. San Diego continues to win. Their record goes 6-5.
Very distinct possibility that last game of the year could be for the AFC West title.
Oh, yeah. Marcus Allen. Yo.
Nine 98th career touchdown for that man, number 32, Marcus Allen. They come with the blitz. Watch the left. Here comes Lilo Lang on the blitz. He's the man in charge who has number 32, and there's nobody there because they blitz. Marcus Allen walks into the end zone. Jay Schrader a little bit excited about this or what? Another touchdown pass for number 10. Yes.
Schrader now 3 touchdown passes in the ball game. Here's the extra point, and it is good. And the Raiders move on top by a score of 24-0, defeating Seattle. And here is the kick. And here's Derek Russell on the return. He's to the 20, moved to the outside, picks up a block to the 30. And is finally caught along the far sideline around the 37-yard line. Brown.
Act like you've been there before. Certain 97 times before that he has.
Yes.
Good point.
Maddox pass is complete as he goes to Reggie Rivers. And Rivers will be down at the 42-yard line. He's going to pick up 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 and a hurry-up offense for the Denver Broncos. The Raiders comfortably in front by a score of 24-0. And this pass is complete to Mark Jackson. And Jackson goes out at the 49-yard line of the Raiders. 1st down.
Again, always coaching. Dan Reeves making a point. He knows the young quarterback. He knows the game is lost. Yet still number 8 trying to get him some experience, trying to put him in different situations and with different plays to give him an opportunity to be more familiar with what is arguably the most complex offense in the National Football League.
And when we ask him about the poise, the courage, the leadership of this young man, Tommy Maddox, he said, I will know more after the game tomorrow.
Well, by those numbers, you'd have to say he's done fairly well.
Yes,
16 for 22.
Yes, he has. And it is incomplete. Almost. The juggling act by Mark Jackson. A flag is down on the play back of the 41-yard line, but he almost held on to it after using all body parts.
You made an interesting point with regards to Tommy Maddox. A lot of people questioned that particular draft pick. Sometime right around the middle to late 80s, they all fell off considerably.
Oh, you have to have that constant input of you. And it is dropped. Incomplete. Reggie Rivers. Dropped it. And as Will McDonough said in the pregame show, which you were an integral part of today.
That was, thank you so much.
Right.
Interesting point with regards to the fact that the team that passed him up was a team that has had quarterback problems over the last couple of years, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes. And also a rival in the AFC West. 2nd down and 20. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Time remaining in the ball game. Raiders in front by a score of 24-0. This is the most points the Raiders have scored this year. The previous high was 21 points against Cincinnati. Has a man open, and the pass is complete. Arthur Marshall down the far sideline. Torin Dorn with the tackle, and it's a 1st down.
A little bit of an out-and-up move. Torin Dorn bought it, trailing Marshall in that case. Maddox, nice touch on the ball.
A gain of 26 on the play. The ball at the 33-yard line. Maddox fires. This one is caught just inside the 15-yard line. And that is Mark Jackson. It'll be back-to-back 1st downs. A gain of 18 yards on the play. Washington and Lott had the coverage. And the ball officially at the 14-yard line. And a 1st down. Maddox tries to scramble. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Anthony Smith comes up with the ball, but they're going to say
back to the inside. He tackles Maddox, as you say, just outside the 15.
And it is 2nd down from the shotgun. Again, the hurry-up offense. And this one is intercepted at the 2-yard line. Terry McDaniel, his 2nd interception of the game. He is now to the 50. He's to the 40. He's going to be caught at the 32-yard line. And guess who was there? Tommy Maddox.
Yep.
67 yards on the return. And the 2-minute warning will be given to both pitchers. We'll be back in just a moment. Spice NFL Live post-game report will be coming up following the game with Bob Costas for all the scores and highlights. And here is Steve Smith to the 30-yard line. has a couple of yards on the play, and this is what we were talking about. The NFL Live post-game report brought to you by Old Spice. Bob Costas with all the scores and highlights and the wins and the losses and the standings and how it all intertwines itself as we wind down to the end of another exciting NFL season. And by the way, San Diego continues to make a move. They are one of the hot teams in the National Football League, and they're making a move in the West. And the Raiders now with 2 in a row. Denver still leading, but Kansas City playing at Seattle tonight. A tough 4-team race in the West. And now the Raiders will be content just to run out the clock and take their second victory in a row. Fans want blood. They want more score.
Well, considering the problems that the offense of the Raiders have had over the last couple of games, maybe they should stay in practice.
So with this victory, the Raiders record will be 5-6. Denver Broncos record will go to 7-4. San Diego's record with their victory today will go 6-5. Marcus Allen scoring his 98th NFL touchdown in his outstanding career.
Going to be a lot of days ahead for that young man. This is one game. He actually had a pretty good percentage, but Terry McDaniel picked him twice with big plays. Certainly that man would have to be player of the game, number 36, just all over the field, as you just mentioned by his numbers earlier.
Jay Schrader, 3 touchdown passes in the ballgame. And this will make it official, and the smile tells it all. The Raiders defeat the Denver Broncos. They shut them out 24-0. And now it's time for the Hager Wrinkle-Free Cotton Super Play of the game.
Well, it certainly has to involve Terry McDaniel all over the field, as you mentioned. 2 interceptions. Here's the second one right here that prevented the Broncos from getting in the end zone and securing the shutout for the Los Angeles Raiders. 2 interceptions, 6 tackles, and 5 passes defense. Terry McDaniel, that play right there is our Hager Wrinkle-Free Cotton Super Play of the game.
And Art Shell, the head coach of the Los Angeles Raiders. Again, the final score, the Raiders 24 and the Denver Broncos nothing.